recording the video?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay. Okay. Hello, people. Welcome to the coaching and mentoring session. If you cannot hear me very well, please let me know because sometimes my internet sucks. But yeah, so I will start sharing my screen, and then we can start a session straight away. And this is the second session of the day. Is it? Is it me? My session is the second one, and then you will have. I think you will have 3 more to come.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the
3 or 4 more to come.
Wait. Oh, 4 more. Okay. So today is the last day of APC. How are you feeling?
Woo!
How are you feeling, people? You can open, turn on your turn on the audio, and then you can speak directly, or you can wait, a bit messy, but let me figure it out. Here, can you see my screen properly?
Yeah, good to go.
Okay. And is there any way that I can see the box checks next to my screen?
You can in the.
Okay, wait. Sorry, people, I need to figure it out a bit.
Okay. You can click in the share screen. There's next to it. There's a button for box chat.
Oops.
Next to
share screen.
And next to share screen, there's our chat.
Okay. Anyway, okay. Probably if someone text in the group chat, help me to remind me, okay, so that I can start I can look into my screen, and I will figure it out later. I promise, so that I can see it more convenient to see your chat box. Okay. Hello, people. My name Tu Anh. You can call me Anh as well. Currently, I'm the MCP of Vietnam, and let's say I have been waiting for 4 days to meet you, even if virtually. I really looking forward to meet you, all the people, all the LCEP from Asian Pacific. And for this very specific topic, which is coaching and mentoring, is always my favorite topic, because I myself also experience how powerful it is to have a good coaching and mentoring skill to facilitate the best possible experience for the team members. I will go straight away to the objective. Then there's 3 objectives of the day. First, to let's say we will go through again, we learn and we relearn on what we have been know about the coaching and mentoring method. And I will focus a bit more on how we can actually facilitate a better experience for our members through these methodologies. And I will try my best to equip you the necessary skill and also one framework that I have been using, so that you can, let's say, you can have kind of preference for yourself to deliver that for your members. And the last part, we will have simulation, so that you can practice, and then you can demonstrate your ability to conduct the effective coaching through simulation. And yes, with that, I have a very simple expectation for you. Please really be very participative throughout the session, because with this topic, there's no perfect answer for coaching and mentoring, and it's really up to us to contribute the personal materials, so that we can learn from the experience from the others. And there will be simulation session, so that so that you can please make sure that you really actively in practicing the knowledge that you have just learned. And also you can observe how people doing the coaching or mentoring, and then you can give feedback for each other. And last but not least, along the way, you can think of if you have any question, and I really recommend that it can be a situational question, so that you can ask me anytime like, oh, I mean, not anytime there will be Q&A part, but I mean, just keep that in mind, or you can text in the chat box so that my co-facilitator will help to remind me in case I miss the message, and I will try my best to answer within the session itself. And just a little bit more of expectation that if I ask you some questions, if you can, please turn on your mic and then just speak so it can be faster instead of me like switching off the screen to see the chat box, because I'm very low text person. So really sorry for that. So far, is it clear for you with the objective and expectation?
Yeah.
And someone can shout or text in the group.
Yes.
It's good.
Okay.
Let's go.
Cool. Okay. Good. Session flow pretty much cover all the objectives. So I also divide the objective into 3 parts, and you can watch it out. So first, come to very simple question. What is the definition of coaching and mentoring? Anyone just raise your idea, that because there are no perfect answer for this. I just want to know what you already know about this.
Hey Tuna, this is Devendra. As I think the coaching and mentoring are that like to teaching all the new members and or new department to get to know about their goals and their department, their all the stuff that what they are looking for. Coaching and mentoring are to like where they are willing to know like what they are want to get and why they are joined to ISEC. Then ISEC give them that kind of knowledge to get all the stuff like where they are lagging. So that is why ISEC provide that kind of platform to that the member can get where they are losing, and by our coaching and by our mentoring, like ISEC give them like that kind of environment where they can improve themselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else have the other ideas?
I can share.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Hi. Hi, I'm Parag from ISEC in Australia. So the main thing I do know about coaching and mentoring is that 2 separate things, where coaching is more short term and mentoring is more personal and long term. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I think I also like for what I learned, also I experienced so far, like the duration also matter a lot for these 2 methods. And with that, just a very brief summaries of coaching and mentoring definition, because I believe that because you already the LCEP and LCP, so that you already experience coaching and mentoring like informal or formal to formal and informal learnings, and also you are the person who already deliver coaching and mentoring. So I guess the practical experience also make it easier for you to understand the definition here. So first, I want to start with the similar point of between the coaching and mentoring, which is so basically in ISEC, these 2 methods to serve as a way of facilitating the learning experience for our members. And sometimes you can maybe you kind of mix between coaching and mentoring because you can see that there's no there's no perfect situation that you only can purely use coaching or mentoring, but it can be depend on the situation. It also depends on the level of learning or level of understanding the skill set of your members, so that you can decide coaching mentoring. And with come with the differences between coaching and mentoring. So for the coaching, it's the result of the coaching is more about like your answer, which means that the other person answer. So coaching focus a lot on you asking the question, and the answer come from the members. The answer come from your coaches. Is the result of like the output, like concrete output of your coaching. Why mentoring is more about like you giving the advice for your members, and that's why your advice is the concrete output that your members can receive from you. And here's like in Isaac, from my experience, so coaching focus a lot on potential soft skill, kind of personal development and self-awareness, while mentoring more on the performance and competency and professional development. So it's just one thing that you need to notice that in Isaac as well, like sometimes personal development and professional development is not the totally completely separate things. It can be that you develop their personal development in order for them to reach the professional goals. So that's why he is just as a reference so that you can see kind of different aspects of coaching mentoring that should be covering for your members. And the coaching is the application of your abilities, your skill, asking the right question, listening to the people, and then be able to guide them to find out the answer. So in order to be a good coach, you need to have the skill. Basically, there's a skill you might not have the most experience in your function, but if you have the skill, so at least you can ensure the very basic outcome for your coaching session. While mentoring more on the application of your experience, your practical knowledge. So that's why you can see that when you have some concern in your mind, or you have some problem that you stuck, that you cannot find any answer, normally you will come to the person who have more experience than you. For example, when you was a newbie, you come to your seniors to ask for advice on how they can solve this problem because they did it before. So pretty much the experience. And at the same time, like I said before, there's always a kind of common ground between coaching and mentoring, but this one is more on for you to look into the different aspects of coaching mentoring. And the question, I believe that I trust you that already know it, and we have been practicing it for a very, very long time, even though that right now I'm the MCP. This is the very basic team standard that I always need to look into, and I always need to learn the new way. I always need to learn how I can do it more effectively. And with coaching and mentoring, you can see it can be fit into let's say different standard, but here I will emphasize on three standard, like three items, which is individual plan when you set a personal development plan for your members, and also toward a supporting system when your team comes to the stage of performing, you deliver list pay, you have an O2O with your members, and with the last part when your team is a closing stage, when you need to debrief on their personal development plan, their LDA. So basically that's what we did in Isaac, we are doing in Isaac. So for this session itself, I will focus more on the aspect of coaching, which is the development of your members' long-term performance over the short-term performance. So normally mentoring is when you give advice more on how you can help your members to solve the current problem so that they can see the result. But right now, because like in the situation of COVID, it's extremely important for us to really look into the long-term development for your members, because sometimes that right now you cannot do exchange. So that's why mentoring them over something that they might not see the result immediately is hard for you. And also, if you focus like more on the coaching side, we can prepare in advance for our members so that they can have enough capability to recover when we can start doing exchange over again. So that, let's say, a very clear expectation from my side, let's say 80% or 90% of the session will focus on the coaching, but I will present, let's say, I will explain you the principle that basically you can apply in the mentoring as well. So that is a very kind of cliche and very basic definition of coaching. And I have a question for you. So normally in Isaac, let's say coaching mentoring is very common definition or very common skill that we always practice, right? And do you think that coaching mentoring is only happen in Isaac or in any business concept, or where like basically where else that they also utilize coaching and mentoring? Do you get the question?
So can you repeat it, please, again? Just
Okay. Okay. My question is, do you think that coaching mentoring is something very specific that you only apply in Isaac, or you only apply in the business world, like in the companies?
I think it happens
And
everywhere. Hey?
Everywhere.
yes, someone wants to say, right?
Yes, so I'd like to share. I'm Vatsal from ISEC in Lumini, Nepal. So talking about coaching and
Hello.
mentoring, I don't think, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So I don't think that coaching and mentoring is only related to ISEC or business concept only. Like we can see it like in every phase of the world, like in every relationship and in partnership also, like even in our normal lives, we have a person either mentor or like coaching us to be the better of ourselves, right? And we can see like it in a great context of sports also. Like in the sports also, you have a coach, you have a mentor who is guiding you to be the better of you so that they can bring out the best of you. So yeah, it's actually present everywhere rather than just in ISEC or in any business concept.
That's very cool. I like the keywords of bringing the best of you, and then definitely in the sport or anywhere else that where the development is focused. Definitely there will be coaching and mentoring, and there is one stakeholder that probably that they do the coaching every day, but sometimes we might not notice, which is our parents. So when I look into the mentoring and coaching, I feel it's very interesting for me because basically on the question, on the principle that the coaching present, like coaching mentoring present, that how my parents are doing, has been doing that for me for, let's say, more than 20 years. However, and you know, like parents, no parents want to see their child struggle. They always want us to be successful, and that's why they give a lot of advice, guidance available to support us. However, sometimes it works, the advice works, sometimes it doesn't work because you will figure out why later. But that's why I truly believe that coaching or mentoring or any activity that involve bringing the best out of people, you need to be trained, because if you don't have proper training, then probably your coaching session will be turned into, let's say, cannot add value to people, or people got offended to our coaching and mentoring session. So with that, I want to bring you to the second part of the session today, which is I focus on one skill that you can help you to really master coaching skill in IDEC, and for your members, which is asking the right question. So I have I have a quiz for you.
Already. You can present.
Okay. So I need to polling.
Already launched. You can focus present.
Okay. I will give you a couple of minutes.
Let's go back to your slide.
Okay. Oh, I want to look into the result.
Do you see the result?
Oh, I see. And then I need to end the poll so that they can. Okay, I can share the result with you as well. Okay, here we go. Well, so around 30% people have the coaching or mentoring session this week and this month, which is very good. Since you stay at home and then you still be able to receive the team standard. And there are 4 people, or let's say 30 people, have very only have it long time ago. So I guess the people have just haven't received it for a while, which is the LCP, is it? The LCP. Okay. Cool. Nia, help me to go to the next question. Nia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, ready for the next poll. Okay.
Yeah. The next one.
Okay.
Cool.
Tu Anh, you can say your stream.
Okay. I need to figure it out.
You can say your slide normally. Okay. Only 50% vote. Oh. More people, less vote. So that you can see.
Yeah, let's more people. You can share the experience together to see if anyone facing the same struggle with you. Show terminal video. Oops.
Okay. You see?
Okay, let me share the result. I really enjoy it. It wastes my time. That's good. That's good. Not so many people think that the coaching session totally wasting your time. I really enjoy it. I don't remember much, around 25%. Oh, actually, it's a bit different with what I expect, because I think more people see that it you really enjoy the coaching session, probably because you're staying at home and then you want to talk more to the people. Because my members sometimes they say, okay, I talk to people too much. That's why sometimes I don't feel I have enough energy for the session or for any coaching session anymore. Nia, help me to go to the next poll. The last one.
Okay.
We almost there. Oops. Okay.
Okay. Here we are.
Okay. Share the result. It's went quite okay, not quite okay. Sorry. Typo mistake. Quite okay, but didn't really solve my concern. So around like 44%. What too formal? I don't feel comfortable enough. Yeah, like I facing the same. I was facing the same problem with the coaching session, which is too formal, and I'm like, am I interviewing you or are you interviewing me? And around 40% having a chit-chatting session with your leaders. That's cool. Okay, let's come back to the slide. Thank you, Nick. So basically, the last the last question, which is the three scenarios that I felt is very, it happened very commonly. And when I reflect back, when I was the person who received the coaching session for my leaders, or I myself, let's say, the first time to be the leaders who deliver the session, like coaching session for my members, it either that it make us feel uncomfortable because it become a chit chatting. Like sometimes I found myself that I have an objective in my mind when I come to the session to solve a problem that the result doesn't come, but then it end up me chit chatting about the MC live, about the conversation that the membership right now having right now. So it's like, okay, after that it's cool. It's cool that we can build up the personal connection, but it doesn't really help me to meet my objective, or either it become too formal. And that's my real problem, because not also for myself, I have a poker phase when I need to think, or I need to, normally I am not in the very energetic mood. So that's why people feel that I am interview them, or especially when I'm using my laptop, then it's always looking to their eyes and then like typing on the answer. Or I also felt the same thing, that I don't really see the benefit of the coaching session, because it doesn't really solve my problem. I come to the coaching session because I have a problem working with my teammates, but then it turned out that I don't know, like I feel like I can share, I can complaining, but there's no clear action step that I can actually take it forward. So there's also like I'm pretty sure that there will be more let's say scenarios, but this is the three most common scenarios that I can see, and then you can also reflect on your experience. And with that, I want to guide you to a concept of 7 powerful and transformative questions that you can help you to always keeping like maintaining the conversation in the most constructive way. So let's start with the first question. And this question is actually a question that Facebook asks you every day. So can you guess which question? Anyone have any ideas?
How are you feeling
What's on
today?
your mind?
How are you feeling today?
How are you feeling today?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. The first question, which is the kickstart question, what's on your mind? What's on your mind? They can say that, okay, so I feel I'm very hungry right now. I'm thinking about my food. I'm thinking about the project that I has been doing, and I has been struggling for a while. But then the purpose of what's in your mind on the kickstart question to encourage the person to go straight to the most important topic and be honest. And so normally what I just share with you, that's something that my member will share with me. Like something like in the very first coaching session, my members, like no one from my team actually share the negative thing. Like they always share about something that pretty much nurture or something that they think of. But like I have been practicing on asking the right question and setting right mood so that they can be very honest to say their opinion, because the coaching session itself also have a limited time. And one thing that I normally direct my focus, my people focus on as answering the question, I will ask about the people, for the teammate, is like the working experience with their teammates, how they interact with the people, or I will direct the focus more on their work. Do you feel like anything that was on your mind about work, anything that's bothering you right now in your project? And the last part, normally I will ask about the behaviors, especially for the case that I see that, okay, they have a bit of uncomfortable experience working with their teammates. So by pretty much focusing on 3 aspects, I can figure out the most important question, like concern in my members. And the second question, which is I call it the AWE question. And what else? Like I share with you is it's really hard for people to be open up with me for the first step, especially in the context of my team. And also I believe that in your team as well, it can happen everywhere, that some people are very extrovert. People are very open. They can share anything in your mind, and even that you don't ask, they just can share with you for the whole day. But some people, it takes a bit of time for them to actually open up. And if the questions only end up with what's on your mind, you might not get the real answer that you're looking for. So what else? It can be a very powerful question, and it can help you to examine as many layers as possible in terms of information that your members giving you, and it can help you to keep the conversation moving. For example, it can help you to making sure that you don't stay in a topic too long. Whenever I feel that I'm more into the chit-chatting part, or let's say gossiping part with my members, I will ask a question, and what else? So it's a very nice way to actually move to the next topic. And one more tip for you, that you can ask this question as many times as you want, because it can really empower members to talk, and it's very simple. You show your curiosity to what they actually having concern right now, and it don't need to be follow the others. So first question is that question, and then what else? And the third question, which is I call it is a focus question. What are the real challenge here for you? So after you get on the backgrounds, you can understand the package that your member is carrying in terms of feelings, in terms of the experience they have right now. You can cut to the excessive complaining or any, let's say, unnecessary conversation, that you can be very straight to the point in order for you to understand the real challenge that your member is facing. And one thing I feel myself, I feel it's very hard for me when I first applying those logic, is that I have an urge to provide every solution for my members, because it makes me feel that I'm useful for my members. And make me feel that I actually add value in the coaching section. But later then I realized that the purpose of coaching is not for you to talk. It's not for you to ask for the solution, because maybe you don't know much as you thought about yourself. So it's extremely important that you be mindful about that, and then you choose, you focus your question, let your member answer before you offer to any solution for them. And with these three questions, it's the most basic question that for you to initiate or maintain or any constructive conversation. In the last four questions can help you to really uncover the challenge. But with the first three questions, basically you can use it in every situation, not just only in coaching session, but you can use it as a daily conversation with your teams. That's why I extremely I really recommend this for anyone in any situation. And then let's move to the last four questions. It will be very quick. The foundational question. So the idea is that you let your member to take ownership over their choices, and you can see the real need behind what they want. So I have an example. For example, my member told me that I want to end the meeting earlier, and it doesn't end up. That's not the real need for them to share with me that in that way. But what my member need is that I need you to empathize with me, because I'm very tired today. Probably I cannot focus until the end of the meeting. So that's the real need that we need to ask, and you need to use the question in the way that open up the people, like let the people to open up with you. And what do you want can be, in some situations, it can be a bit scary. For example, in the context of my team, I have, let's say, I have people from 5 nationality, and English is not no one first language. So that's why, for example, for Vietnamese people, when you come to them and you ask them, okay, what do you want? It sounds very blunt, and they might feel that, okay, so are you challenging them, or it's a bit, when your leader asks you, you don't feel that you're comfortable to share. But for the other members, I have a person let's say from America. So that this must pretty much the question that they ask each other every day. So it feels very comfortable and very open when I ask him that question. So also the question here is a question for you to ask, but you need to see in which language that you need to translate into, and also the kind of mentality that people might perceive the question. But basically just focus on let them tell you what they really want instead of you assuming what they want. And the fifth question, which is the lazy question, what can I do for you? And this question is that, so it called as a lazy question because sometimes you need to control the response. You need to be careful to control the response, because sometimes people may ask you, can you do this and do that for me? And as a leader, sometimes you even don't have the capability to do it. So make sure that you never promise, overpromise anything that you cannot do. And there's one tricky question I learned from my experience, and that's a very painful lesson for myself as well. But I think it's very interesting thing. When someone asks you, do you think what should I do? So I want to ask you, anyone from you, that what will be your reaction when your members asking you this question? Anyone can share with me? Like your
I think the members will just say, just listen to me, kind of like that, because they are confused on what we have to do, something like that.
My question is that if your members come to you with this question, what could be your normal reaction? Do you all get my question?
I think I would try to help them right away.
Yes.
That's my first response.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone have a different reaction, or you have a kind of similar one?
Maybe I will sometimes just directly solve the problem for them. Yeah, just want to get the things done.
Yeah. Okay, exactly my case.
So like if somebody comes up to me and like tells me this question, so it's gonna be like, really shocking kind of, it will make me feel uneasy. But then I'm going to like let them know that it's not about, me, it's about them. So, I'm not giving them ownership on that thing or that leadership itself. So they can solve their problems all they want,
Understand. That's true. I think for the question, like this is exactly what I like the person who shared before. Normally before that I will jump directly to the answering the question or giving any suggestion I have in my mind for them, feeling that I'm adding the value for them. But I find out that there's a better way there for you to do that instead of giving direct answer, which I think is also necessary, because of course when members come to you, they really need you as a leader, and you should not abandon that, or you should not shy away from giving a solution. But you can ask them that what do they have in their mind, what's on their mind right now, any suggestion or any idea, even a draft idea that they can have, so that by that you can encourage them to take ownership over the suggestion, and also encourage them to be more confident on their own solution. And then after that you can give in your opinion, like let's say giving opinion as one of the suggestions. And that's when the mentoring part come into play. So that's why I always emphasize that mentoring and coaching never completely separate with each other. We come to the point that you need to use your own experience as an LCVP, as an LCP, so that you can give more perspective. You can, let's say, open up new ways of solving the problem for your members. But keep in mind, it can be very tricky. The question can be very tricky if you don't control your urge. And the sixth question, which is the strategic question, what's the battle that you choose? You want to choose, and which one you don't want to fight for? So basically, with this question, it's more about like before that you give a lot of suggestions for your members. but right now you need to guide them to see that what they really need to sacrifice in order to finish the goal they set. Or if they choose over one suggestion or to choose solving one problem, they might need to sacrifice the other. For example, in my case, right now I need to focus more on, like, for example, when a crisis happened, when COVID happened, I myself cannot 100. I need to choose over solving the crisis for my entity, guiding the people to have the process in place instead of let's say pushing or keep tracking the performance. So it always the balance need is always happen, and then you should not, and you need to be there to guide your members and not to overwhelm them with the workload, not to overwhelm them with all the suggestions that you and your member discussed before that. So that's the idea of the strategic question. And the last question, which is can be called as a learning question or a feedback question, that when you come and you ask, basically you ask your member, what have you learned from the conversation? And with that, you can encourage active learning and self-reflection for better future experience. And this also can serve as can serve as a feedback when member come to tell you that, okay, I feel that the coaching session is effective for me because of this and that. I feel like today we didn't really solve the problem. And then this, I think this is also my personal experience. I really like the 7 question, like the question number 7, because that's something that it's kind of the fixed agenda in all the coaching session I have with my EP team, my MCEP team, or my LCP, because it really helped me. I see myself progressive on the coaching skill because of that question. So I really recommend you to do so. And so far with 7 questions, do you have any concern in your mind so that you can raise the question very quick so I can answer before I jump to the next part? And here, help me if someone text in the group chat.
Okay. What if your members say they don't know what they want?
They don't know what they want, like for a quick question. What do you want? Oh, well, nice question. Actually, I think people always know what they want. It's just like either they get confused because they want a lot, or they not get open up to share with you. So for example, very simple question, because you see the foundational question is the question right after they explain you the problem that they are facing, right? So there is always, let's say very simple, I have a need, I want the problem to get solved, or I want that person to treat me more nicely. I want that person don't, let's say, don't take my opinion to personal. So basically, my answer is that they always know what they want. You need to ask the right question for them to answer, to get the right answer for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you repeat the 6th question?
Oh, here, I will show here strategic question, learning question. What's the battle you want to choose? Or you can work in that basically to help to choose, to prioritize things.
Okay. Another people ask, how do I guide them? How do I balance between providing? I think this is providing concern. Wow, this is a lot of questions.
Okay. Help me to collect it. Maybe when I have the Q&A part later, I can try to answer. But like, what's the question that you're just reading right now?
How do I balance between providing and coaching, I think.
Okay. I think I get your concern. I think it's more about like you need to be mindful about that, because I think it's always it's a very human nature. It's just human nature when you want to be valuable for someone, and especially when you are leaders, the pressure is even higher, right? So just be mindful, like just really focus on asking the question and actively listen from the people before you actually offer opinion. and then you still can, like I say, you can still can give your suggestion later after you listen to all the people, the opinion they have. I think one thing that I also learned, also try to practice in my MC meeting. For example, if I bring a question or I bring a discussion in place, normally I will try to be the last person to speak up, because I also don't want to my member to be influenced my opinion as well. So that's something that you can practice as well. Yeah.
You can check
okay,
WhatsApp.
Cool. Okay, cool. How many questions we have?
We have a lot. You can check WhatsApp.
Okay, cool. Okay, people. I need to move to the next part, but I have the Q&A part later, so I will try to answer your question. Okay. But right now, just make sure that you understand the question. Then, because we will have simulation that you need to apply them. Okay. Some tips and tricks for you. Like I say, normally you cannot completely separate that, so you don't need to do that as well. Just need to be mindful and just need to be very clear on the objective of the session. And sometimes, like the mentoring experience, let's say in coaching is mostly you need to do the coaching in your O2O, but mentoring experience, from my experience, it can be in your EP meeting when you share some knowledge with your members, or it can be in a training, or it can be in any training that you provide as a leader. So you have many touch points that you can develop both of them. And then you can use a similar question to see the improvement. So normally in the coaching, there's some fixed question that I will always ask the people. So I can see that, okay, so last month, this leader stay, and this month, I can see if my member is progressing on that aspect. And then that's something that I also can evaluate my effectiveness being a leader to coaching them. Okay. And then
买它的汤，然后你煮水，然后放这个料进去，我们
Nia, can you help me to mute?
Yeah.
Thank you, Nia. Okay. Next tips. You can ask a question about the next step in the middle of term, before any election periods, or it can be what is it? It also can apply for your members when you need to find the pipeline for your BB roles. And I want to add the tips here, because I think succession planning is always a real problem with everyone. I myself facing the same problem. So also be mindful that the coaching part, coaching session is a very good touch point for you to actually develop or finding your members. Finding your successor. So make sure that you keep that in mind. You can ask the question about next step in your coaching part as well. A bit of tips if you are the person who really like to see the number to rate the development, or you want to normally you comfortable with the data, so that you can range any question. You can ask a member to range that, okay, if there's any red flag, yellow flag, or green flag, or you can range by the data. And of course, there's some aspect of development for your members. You need to have a little bit of intervention that you need to have extra coaching. There might be members that you need to have 2 coachings per month instead of only one monthly O2O. That's the right question based on your priorities. Because coaching part also, we have limited time. You cannot ask everything in life. For example, my priorities are, I value accountability in my team. I value, if you have a problem with your teammates, it is also the responsibility of both of you to solve that. So my question is, for me, in order for me to understand if my members have a good accountability right now, is that, do you communicate enough for people to understand your expectation or not? So that can be very focused on your priorities and values as team leaders. And next tips, you can let your member review first, share the struggle, and then you can see if it matches with the score later. Then they raise for their development. And one thing, I think that normally we take it for granted, or we assume that member understand this, and they say it's very basic. Let's say framework that you have been learning when you start joining Isaac, right? I heard some noise, but just let me know if you cannot hear me well, okay? So basically, the inner and outer journey. You need to get your member, let your member understand why we always need to have also coaching, because it's a part of inner and outer journey. And let me show you, especially in the COVID situation, there are two parts that I have been emphasizing on delivering to my members, which is reflect on our own experience, and then because they just come to a very challenging role and environment right now with the COVID situation. So make sure that you explain them this. And there's one thing that, for example, I used to have the problem that I have a member in the past that they don't want to have a coaching. They asked me that why we need to have a coaching because I feel that I'm doing well right now, or because probably also because maybe he or she doesn't feel comfortable with me as a team leader. But I explain and I insist them that, okay, this is a part of inner and outer journey, even that we don't share the very comfortable relationship right now as a leaders and members. I need to do my job as a team leader. So clarity of why, very important. Yeah, so that's the part for my side. Right now we have the simulation. We need to divide into 4 breakout rooms. They will help you will help us to divide the people, right? Okay. And then let me explain you a bit before you go to the breakout rooms. So simulation, for each group, I need 6 volunteers per group, per breakout rooms, and then you will be divided into 2 groups. One person to act the roles of coach, and one person will be the coachee. So one person is the leaders, one person is the members, and one person is the observer. And you have in total you have 15 minutes per round. So which means that we can have 2 rounds within that 30 minutes of simulation. In 7 minutes, so more about the coach and the coachees talking to each other. Make sure that the coach focus more on asking the question on the question that I explained you before, but also you can have your follow-up question to understand the answer. And the coaches focus more on answer the question. And the observer, you don't need to speak anything, but make sure that you note it down, and then you can give feedback so that you can have 5-minute feedback to give for the coach and the coaches. And we can have 3 minutes extra time for the other delegate to add in any further comment. You can text directly in the chat box, or you can say to the people so that you can you can have different perspective. And yeah, so and apply the first 3 questions. I only want you to focus on the first 3 questions because that's the basic one. And this is the kind of the cases that you need to solve. Very simple. This is what we are facing right now. So your members feel demotivated because they cannot generate results whole much due to COVID situation. And the point is he or she doesn't see himself, okay, type of mistake, I'm sorry. He or she doesn't see himself or herself develop leadership capability or technical skill. So I don't see myself leading my team. I even don't see myself approving or taking care of EP in the past month. And right now you have one monthly also with him or her. And your end objective is that you want to motivate them to keep the athletic spirit, and you also want to help them to define the personal and the professional development plan in the upcoming months. So you don't need to reach the objective by the end of the simulation, which means that I don't need you to close the conversation and say that, okay, so this is the development plan of my members, but I just need you to keep the context in mind so that you can guide the conversation to what the end goal by applying the first 3 questions. So far, is it clear for you, or anyone have concern? I can answer before you go to the breakout rooms.
Clear.
Okay, cool people. Let's move fast to the breakout room. Help me.
Ready?
Do I need to say here? Like I say here. Cho background.
Okay. I will set my main screen so that I can count down the time.
Okay.
And you're gonna join some breakout room. I cannot join the breakout room.
Okay. Where should I go in?
Do you see the breakout room? Oh shit! Stop sharing.
I still see some people, so I guess that's my breakout room, right?
Let me see. Supplement. Do you see my timer? So there are still 16. No, there are still 16 people is not joining the breakout room. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm still joining because I'm still here, so I guess this is already my breakout room, right? Or do I need to join the others? Or you can send me in my private chat box, I guess.
Yeah. They supposed to go to another room. Every room have.
Okay, I see your screen. Yeah. Okay, hello people. This is my breakout room. I'm a bit loud, but oh, okay.
Anyone there? Oh my God, what is
and
So for the
everyone
first
else.
round of simulation, we want to have one person coaching and one person like.
Well, is there anyone? I have a question to ask. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh,
Yes.
I was recently.
I think I already assigned you guys to the room. So let's click to join the room.
Eugene.
Wait, I'm curious, why our group less and less people? Everyone is missing out.
Very quiet. Đứng lên. Oh, we need to you click there
Click what?
is a breakout room and then you click breakout room there and then you
Yeah,
just now
yeah.
I remember
You
I
need to
heard she
click
say
join
that
the record room.
inside the record there is the breakout room and then
Oh, guys, you need to go to the record room. I will assign you here. Hi, you need to go to one breakout room. I will assign you. Hi, Angie. Eh, why you are here? Yes. Hi, Cindy. You're supposed to go to the breakout room. Hey, guy. You're supposed to go to the breakout room. There's gonna be a link to ask you to join. Let's try it.
Hi, I think.
Yeah, you see it, right? Yeah, let's try the breakout room. Hi, you're supposed to go to breakout room. Hi guys, this is the main plenary. So let's join the breakout room. You're gonna see the breakout room invitation. People is having activity in the breakout. Hey, you need to go to the breakout room. There's an invitation. Hi, you need to go to the breakout room. I will assign you. Hey guys, you're gonna see an invitation to the breakout room. Let's click on it so that you can join the room. There's activity in the breakout room right now. Let's click on the things.
Beginning, what I like or what I can do in my life. It's very hard, and that is what else I'm con-
Hi guys, you need to join to the breakout room. You're supposed to join the breakout room, not here. Click on the invitation to the breakout room. Not yet, I'm in the session. Tu Anh session over? Not yet. No, it's over one. Like Hi, you need to go to the breakout room. So you're gonna receive an invitation to the breakout room. This is the main plenary, so no activity here. Hi guys, you're supposed to go to the breakout room. I will assign you. Let's click in the invitation link because you are not supposed to be here. Hi, you need to go to the breakout room. This is the main plenary activities in the breakout room. Hi, you need to go to the breakout room. Yeah. Hi, you need to go to the breakout room. Let's click the invitation. Hi, you need to go to the breakout room. I will assign you. Let's click in the link to join the breakout room. Hi guys, let's click in the link to join the breakout room. Hi, we are having activities. Let's go to the breakout room. This is the main plenary. I will assign you to some room. Let's click on it. Okay, welcome back. I'm open my mic. Okay, I think people is getting back now. Okay, hi guys, hi. Let's wait a bit.
Hello,
Hi,
how are you?
good, good to go. Very good. I think all the people is coming back. I can have some. I can have some music for everyone while we are waiting.
I leave.
How was the simulation, people?
Oh,
Do you
Tu
find
Anh.
anything interesting?
Yeah,
Huh?
can you say your screen?
My screen, okay.
Yes, everyone here now.
Okay, cool. Let me share my screen.
Hi,
Okay,
Angel.
so how was the simulation? How was the simulation experience for you? Like anything that you felt interesting, that you are the person who actually delivered the coaching, or you observe from your people? Anyone wants to share?
I'll share. So, hi guys, I'm Niharika from ICNTU India. So, I was in group 3. Thank you, MJ, and all the people who I basically observed. So, I listened to the two coaches and the coaches, the simulation that we had, and it was amazing. I mean, I was while we were when we were having the session previously, I was very confused of when to ask the focus question and when to actually ask the right question. So, and it's kind of awkward also to you never know what you might say wrong. So I think that with the simulation I actually got to know that when to ask the right questions and when to actually come to the focus question, how to make how to make the conversation more comfortable and make the coaching session more comfortable and more productive. So I think that was the breakout session was amazing. The simulations are amazing. Awesome, group 3. Thank you, group 3.
Good job. Okay, let's wait for Tu Anh. Yes. How was it, the cold fuzzy? You can have to wait. Oh, I think Tu Anh is here. And I think she's ready to come back with the Q&A. I think you are
To
muted.
make some noise.
Tu Anh, you are muted. Okay.
You unmute myself already.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Really sorry. I was out of the session a bit, but I still be able to listen half of your sharing. I hope you enjoy the simulation. So I will. I see the question, like the Q&A part, and I will try to. Oops, my life. I will try to answer some question that I think more about the process. And okay, so the first question: what can I do if they actively decide they don't want to do anything, or they being too lazy to do anything? I guess that is a different problem as well. Since I mean, like the coaching session is a ability, like the skill that you facilitate experience, but of course, your members need to have the motivation to do so, and it really up to them to, let's say, if you do the best and then you deliver all the things that you can deliver to them as a leaders, it's up to them that they need to they want to change or not. And I think that go a lot with taking ownership. But and I really hope that you don't face a situation that your members probably give up on improving themselves, which I think it rarely happens. But I guess what you can be mindful more is that, like in your coaching session, if you have these members, maybe your coaching session can be focused more on empowering them. So how you asking the question that they feel that this is their suggestion, this is their ideas, and they really want to take action toward it. So coaching session can help you to deal with these members as well. And someone asked that if what if by the end of the conversation your members still feel lack of confidence and feel problem isn't solved yet, which is, I think, is very common, very normal, because there's no, let's say, miracle like that you can solve everything in one coaching session. I think it's important that you as a leader you need to keep the routine, because one coaching session is not enough. You need the next one in order for you to follow up to see any progress. The routine will help you. And second, I think also you don't need to pressure yourself to solve everything in one coaching session. As long as you really focus on how to improve it. Maybe in the first coaching session, you don't feel it doesn't go well as what you expect, but then in the next one you can improve. And what is it? Mistakenly break the flow with some question. It's fine. It's totally fine. The other is, let's say, a suggestion from your side. I think it's just that you need to keep in mind the most three basic questions, because that's something that can help you to start the conversation, let's say the intimate conversation with your members, and also can help you to direct your focus on the real challenge. So I think you just need to pay more attention on that. But the other, like, it's up to you, completely up to you. And there's some question that actually you maybe like in some coaching session that you don't need to ask. So it's just a reference. And like I say, the one question that you can use as many times as you want, which is what else, when it can be a very good follow-up question, very simple one, but very effective one for you to move the conversation forward. And some people ask about, so the direct focus for behaviors. What I mean is that normally when you talk, you coach your members. So what I see is that either that they talk about their work, let's say you coach them on how they can implement a project or how they can deliver a session for their members, or they will talk about their own experience working with their teammates. Let's say, I don't like to work with this person, I don't like to work with that person. And the behavior is more for you to actually help them to reflect on their own behaviors. It's more about the self-awareness. For example, let's say I have an example before, which I asked my member that, do you think that you communicate enough for people to understand what is your expectation for the work or for them? So that is the kind of question, the behavioral question that I help my members to work on their reflection and self-awareness. And with the other, like some question about the resources, how to balance between mentoring them, giving them advice, and let them taking ownership. I think I have, let's say, there's no perfect answer for that. Just that you need to keep in mind, like I shared with you before, how you can balance between the two. And for the resources, my own advice from my experience is that, because I'm the MCP and I'm the, let's say, the LCP, so I have more chance for me to know or to connect to all the resources like BOA, like external partners. So that's something that I want to actively connect my members to the resources. So it's up to you, but I really recommend that you, as a team leader, or even you are the LCVP, you always have much more opportunity than your members to connect to the resource. So make sure that you utilize it. And yeah, so I hope that it can answer your question. In case you still have some question, I guess you can send to I don't know, like maybe regional office or the delegate group, so that if I can see it, I will make sure that I will answer you. Okay, but hopefully it's clear enough for you. And okay, so here I share with you one, wait, this is already in the slide, but basically there's a framework that you can use. It's called GROW model, like goal, reality, action, and will. And here's also very clear with the objective, the state, and the potential question that you want to ask. So this is a kind of framework that helps you to structurize your coaching session. It totally aligns with the previous asking the right question before, but for you more like for a model that for you to guide your members. And I also highlight some key questions. For example, when it's talking about the goals, so you really need to ask yourself that, does the goal fit with entity objective? Because sometimes their personal goal might a bit out of track. For example, my members say that I want to learn Japanese. Yes, it's very good for them to learn a new language, but however, my focus, and I want to utilize my time to direct them to some skill or some, let's say, some goals, personal goal that actually can help them to be a better leaders, to be a better MCVP, OCV, to be a better LCVP, ICV. So those questions that I highlight here for you to really pay attention to it. And wait, I think the screen here a bit. Okay, cool. So just last sharing, it doesn't look like what it seems. For example, like right now, you think that because you don't meet your members, so it might be you think that they are doing fine.
Yeah, can you tag in the group that
people always over.
Okay.
I can. And that's it. It's always come up with intention, and I hope you enjoy the session and you take the learning. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you for your attention, and thank you.
Yeah,
Lee.
the next session will start at 4:15. So which is in around 7 minutes. Okay, thank you guys. Let's take a break, a short break, and see you in the next session. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
See you in 7
Thank you
minutes.
so much.
Tạm biệt.
Very good session.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So fun to share.
Challenging.
Thank you.
Joshua, you're cool. You're doing great.
Okay, have fun. I'm gonna end the
Bye.
meeting now. Bye.